This short podcast is to illustrate how the British Indian Army was diluted and all the units or most of the units mixed with Punjabi Muslims in the aftermath of the First World War. This is from the book Political Consequences of First World War on British Indian Army's class composition, myths about class composition. This book is available on the Amazon Books, and this podcast is based on a short section of this book. The 7th Rajput Infantry, as it was known in the First World War. We will study briefly how this unit's class composition was tempered and it was diluted, as the British CID called it, as described by my grandfather's younger brother Agha Abdul Rauf, deeply connected with the political verification of Indian Army in the First World War and later on. As you can see, this unit was raised in 1804 as the 1st Battalion of 24th Native Infantry. In 1824, it was renumbered 47th Native Infantry but disbanded, re-raised in same year as the 69th Native Infantry. In 1828, it was restored as 47th Native Infantry. This battalion had a very interesting history. This was stationed at Ghazipur or Mirzapur in the eastern UP province, and it was rebellious in 1857. So the British commanding officer of the British Company's army hanged some of the soldiers who were creating trouble, and this unit volunteered to fight in China, and it was sent to China to fight in the Second China War, Second Opium War. In 1861 reorganization, this battalion, which had survived the 1857 rebellion, was renumbered 7th Regiment of Bengal Native Infantry. In 1883, 7th Duke of Connaught's own Bengal Native Infantry. Subsequently, it was completely comprised of Hindu Rajputs, Hindustani Hindu Rajputs. In 1893, it was renumbered 7th Duke of Connaught's own Rajput Regiment of Bengal Native Infantry, when it was completely Hindu Rajputized and had a homogeneous class composition of 8 Hindu Rajput Hindustani companies. In 1903, it was renamed 7th Duke of Connaught's own Rajputs. The unit had fought at Mutke and Ferozshah as well as Aliwal and Sobraon in the First Sikh War, in China in 1858-59, in the Second Opium War, where the unit had volunteered to stay away from the 1857 rebellion. The unit had fought in Egypt 1882, Tel el Kabir, and the Boxer Rebellion, Pekin 1900. All these were its battle honours. Sadly, the British, shaken by the First World War, were deeply concerned about the loyalty of the British Indian Army, and sadly, this unit's Hindu Rajput identity was tempered and it was diluted, as my grandfather's brother called it, by inducting 50% Punjabi Muslims and Hindu Rajputs, thus reduced from 100 to 50%. This was based on the political loyalty consideration, much whitewashed and camouflaged. But this book is about the political loyalty uh, theory which was imposed on the Indian army after the First World War. This unit was renumbered 3 by 7 Rajput in 1921-22.